Hello, friends, and welcome back to Quests and Chaos. We are continuing with Keys from the Golden Vault. We have just started the module Prisoner 13, and our operatives of the Golden Vault have been recruited to go speak to the mysterious Prisoner 13, long imprisoned in Revel's End, up above the spine of the world, and try to see if they can procure the key to the treasure that Prisoner 13 once stole from her dwarven clan and hid deep beneath the mountains. As we open, you all have had a chance to get your things together, gather any items you might have needed. You've been provided with warm clothing by your Golden Vault contact, Priscilla. And then, with the help of Varen Axebreaker, one of the heads of the Axebreaker clan who has hired you for this job, you were able to hop on a ship. Took you up the Sword Coast, a nice 3-day journey. Hopefully none of you got seasick. Your friend Bev, the non-swimming tabaxi, was not on the boat, thankfully, so Minwoo slept a little easier.
Sloan made seasickness jewelry for everybody.
Ooh, so like a Dramamine patch type thing?
Yeah, basically.
It's like the little sea bands, but they're
And they,
very
like-
cool and bejeweled.
Yes.
When they hit the pressure point.
Yes.
Wonderful. But now it's after 3 days, which have been mostly lovely, though getting increasingly colder the further north you get. You've arrived in the port of Luskan, where you are met by a young dwarven woman who is very proudly and boldly bearing a crest of the Axebreaker clan. To make it, the equivalent of the airport holding the sign, making herself very easy for you to find so that she doesn't have to declare why she's there. You see other folks from the Axebreaker clan, or who you presume are probably Axebreaker clan members. There are other dwarves around helping load and unload. But you see this woman who matches the description you were given by Varen. She's a short dwarven woman with a little bit of a, sideburn beard going on that blends into her blonde hair, all braided back.
So cool.
And she kind of scans around, looks, gives you guys a wave, comes walking up. Hello, you have come to take a journey into far north, yes?
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Can I offer you a service of my sled? Is big sled, promise.
Yes.
Seats everyone.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
Certainly.
For sure.
Wonderful. Come with me. Who is it that gave you name for me?
Varen.
Varen?
Wonderful, wonderful. I am Bethra. Please, come. She leads you over to this massive sort of half sled, half carriage situation that is being drawn by 2 very large, grumpy-looking moose.
Accurate.
I love that so much.
Do not worry, they are always grumpy, but as long as I give them good treats, they are very good at pulling sleds. Please,
She
come
just
in,
keeps
come in.
looking up.
She holds up in the door, ushers you all in. It's slightly enclosed. The windows can be opened if you need some fresh air, but it keeps the snow off of you. And you all climb in, and she leans out and shouts something in Dwarven to the moose, which are directions of some sort. And the sled sets off. She settles back in. All right, now that we are in privacy, Varen said that you are coming from Golden Vault to help with Prisoner 13 situation. Yeah?
Correct.
Wonderful.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Wonderful. I have been helping to scout prison and just make note of things in case we have to do things sketchier way. So I will do my best to answer questions if you have them. Otherwise, we sit back, we take a nice nap, we drink nips of schnapps, and we get to prison as soon as possible. Not into prison, but to location.
To the prison with
Yeah.
prison is located. Okay.
Based on your information, what have you found out to be the best plan according to you?
Well, I have cousin has gotten in and out before pretending to be guard. We have access to uniforms for guards or cooks. They bring in regular numbers of cooks, guards, and prisoners, so as long as we make sure numbers match, easy to smuggle people in. Yeah. Uniforms easy to get, very easy to pay off someone to just not show up to work today. Send in new person, tell them someone got sick.
Okay.
If you like to do that way. Probably ways to break in. Some of our more roguey types have definitely tried. Lot riskier. If you set off high alert, go on forever, everything go into lockdown. Lots of noise, lots of guards, lots of magic. Can be big problem.
All of those sound like things we'd prefer to avoid.
Yeah. Also, just, act casual when you get in. Do not be sketchy. Only ask questions when you think it is appropriate. Don't ask questions that should be obvious. Yeah?
Don't be sketchy is great advice. Yeah.
You would be surprised how many people do not think of...
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
If you wish to try to stay full above board, I have paperwork for application filled out already that can be submitted to council for a meeting, but as I'm sure Varen probably told you, then somebody will be sitting in and listening in on conversation, which may not be best choice.
Who would normally sit in on that? Just like a regular guard or like one of the higher ups? Or...
That is a fantastic question that I know is in here, and I just have to find which page it's on.
Are you thinking like what I'm thinking? Like with the two prongs?
Combination of
yeah.
both.
Yeah.
I was also thinking we could do something sort of, like death row innocence lawyer kind of vibe. Like, I think you're innocent, I want to fight for your freedom, that kind of thing.
It's very fun idea. Like the way you think, definitely not going to fly. Everybody knows she fucking did it.
Shit.
Like, absolutely no question. She is very proud of the fact that we have not been able to find treasure. She does not know yet that we have found location of treasure.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, have fun with that, I guess.
So Varen indicated that the big reason that you don't want us talking to her in front of someone from the prison is because you don't want them to know about this. Isn't that the reason she's in prison? Because she nicked the whole fortune?
Yes, she's in prison because she nicked whole fortune. But we do not necessarily want outsiders to know that fortune is now available for being re-nicked or unnicked. Is prison full of very bad people who have done very bad things, presumably. Do not want it getting around that suddenly there is a giant score to be had under mountain.
Okay. And I that would probably put her in danger too.
Yes. Personally, do not care if she gets shanked in prison yard, but like not asking for that, just saying not going to feel bad. She is a bad person.
No. I'm just saying, like, here's my thought. If she knows that the treasure has been found and everybody else figures it out too, and someone tortures it for the information and then ganks her, then you don't have access to the key. And no one knows where the key is if she's dead. You know what I mean? And then some unsavory person has that information. And that's bad. That's all I'm saying.
No, you are very correct. We want we want to know where key is so that we can retrieve treasure and try to move on with lives, put this behind us. If you put in paperwork to have visit, you will be accompanied by the warden. Warden is, oh god, Marta Marthanes. She is very chill, except when she's not.
Oh.
Okay.
Normally she is very level-headed, very, like, maybe not going to be a person we want knowing this, but, like, not bad, not good, just very good at a job. But I have heard stories about, like, weird things where sometimes she just gets, like, I don't know, real party animal, lots of, drinking and revelry while on job. Very weird. Not sure what that's about.
Okay. Interesting.
We all made the we can use that face.
He's only rumored, do not know what that means, so take that with grain of salt. Oh, also, here, take salt. It is good if you're traveling through snow. Gives you each a patch of salt.
Okay. Taste it.
Good sea of moving ice salt.
Great.
Stick it in one of my belt pouches.
Adding salt.
You
And
never
we're
know.
all like, salt.
It doesn't get warm enough for it to melt the ice, though.
Okay. Do we know like what the numbers are for cooks and guards? Are you saying like all 4 of us can't go in as guards, or?
Hey, Buffalo, if you want to go in, you can go in. Just let me know so I know how many folks need to not report into work that day. We're not going to kill anybody. We're just going to go pay them off to take a nice vacation with their family for a couple of days so that you can sneak in and be their cop, okay? Like, we don't just murder people out of hand. That is not how we do in Clan Axebreaker.
Okay, that's good to know. Also, not how I operate.
Nah.
Too much mess. Where would we hide the bodies after a certain point? Everything is frozen. Cannot put in ground. Everything covered in snow. You know what shows up a lot in snow? Blood.
True, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
White, red, yeah, sure.
So less death, hopefully. Great. Glad we've established that.
Okay. We have salt. We have access to guard uniforms. We know that the warden likes maybe to drink sometimes. Is there any sort of pattern to her drinking, or?
She seems to mostly keep it under wraps. Is very good about doing it when she is off shift. But I have, I have friends who have, gotten in, gotten out, gotten some information, and they say that it's kind of weird rumor that goes around about these kind of fits that she has. Everyone just sort of doesn't talk about it that much, but they also kind of whisper about it a little bit because it's very weird.
Okay.
I mean, how weird is drinking off the job?
Weird enough that they talk about it, which is why I bring it up. See, I don't think that's normal. I clock out, I go to bar, I have a couple drinks, I have a good time, maybe I take someone home for the night or go visit someone else, is fine. Not a big deal. She makes it seem like it is big deal, which makes everybody talk. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe she just likes to have a good time. I mean, is warden of worst prison in Faerun in shittiest place in Faerun? Maybe second shittiest. Pretty bad up here because of the whole endless winter thing. Unless you are dwarf and like cold.
Do you like the cold?
It's fine.
I mean, there were 2 conditions there, dwarf and like cold.
I mean, other people like cold, right? I mean, I am fine. I grew up here. It is always cold. It is just no more cold now. And every so often we get shitty drunk adventurers coming in saying, I will punch Frostmaiden in the face. And then they never come back, so...
Sloan kind of pulls their like furry collar closer to them. I don't like the cold.
I'm a volcanic creature at heart.
I am so sorry. I really appreciate that you are here to help my clan with this particular issue.
Is there an entrance that guards would take, or why? I mean, I guess we could split up.
I guess
Some
the
of us-
southern entrance.
Well, if we're coming
Well,
in at the
or
top-
northern
wait,
entrance,
we're not
too.
entering from the top, we're probably-
The barracks. Do they sleep there?
I mean, they would have to have some people there.
Are they on like 24-hour shifts and people like take naps?
Maybe. Well, all good questions, I'm sure.
They're great questions.
Oh my God, there's a bathroom!
Hoping no one would notice.
Do they all have bathrooms in the cells,
No, they have one big. I mean, they have like chamber pot, and then in cells, and then there is one big, shower room for maintaining hygiene. It's bad place to be, prison, but not completely inhumane. Also, I'm sorry. There are like 1,000 rooms in this thing that all have descriptions, so
Yikes.
I have to scroll through for a moment to
That's okay.
be able
Find the
to
bathroom.
answer the
We'll
specific
vamp.
questions about entrances.
Vamping
Does
is
the warden
fine.
have a beverage of choice?
That is actually a great question. I think I have not heard. Seems to get lots of shipments of dwarven ale to prison in general, assuming they're not giving that to the prisoners. So probably is for guards and wardens and the counselors.
The counselors?
Yes, the governors, counselors who there are 10 of them, one representative from each city.
Oh,
who-
like the Lord's Council.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, the Lord's Council. Yes. There are 3 of them who are currently in residence there. Everyone else travels in when major adjudication is needed for appeals and such.
Okay. Wow, this is really a full-service prison.
Yeah, their rooms are smaller than the prisoner cells.
Well, if you're not there for very long.
Well, sounds like those 3 counselors are
Living.
living there, so
The
that's
3 rooms each.
But if you're just going there to sleep and you have the run of the rest of the prison,
yeah. But I mean, if you want your own space, at least the prisoners have a whole room. They've got a bed.
How many prisoners is it normally to a cell?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
2.
Two?
One or 2.
Is prisoner 14 also in the cell? Like,
Or does prisoner 13 just
her.
have her own cell?
Special
Yeah.
privileges for being there so long.
or too dangerous to be with someone else.
I think probably more the latter one. I don't think anyone wants to be there. No, prisoner 13 has no cellmate. Can tell you longest serving prisoner still there, prisoner 6. Most recent prisoner, prisoner 299.
Oh,
Wow.
all right.
I mean, they're not all still there. People do get out. You go to Revel's End if you have sentence of year or more. You make your appeals or you don't. So is mixed. Sometimes you have dumb idiots who tried to, I don't know, like rob vaults for magical items who are very repentant, get off in a year or 2. Sometimes you have horrible, like, mass murderers who need to never see the light of day again.
what's security, like, surveillance like?
There's lots of guards. They do regular rounds. There are lots of anti-magic areas inside the cells to make sure that the prisoners do not try anything sketchy. Because occasionally you get your sorcerers, your bards. You cannot just like stop them from doing the things, right? I'm trying to find the security section because there's a whole bunch on it.
Surveillance.
Find it. I mean, I think the function is that you feel like you're being watched all the time, regardless of whether you're actually being watched or not.
Yes. Yes. Mostly they do it old school. Regular rounds. Lots of patrols, towers on all areas with Overwatch.
No magic mirror systems or...
Not that I am finding. So we're saying no.
Cool.
We'll find out later if I flip to the page that says scrying mirrors and I go,
Ah,
shit.
Okay. I mean, it won't hurt us to like scope it out. And
There is this door on the southwestern side that seems to be leading to the guard tower on the far end.
That is a trail there, isn't it?
oh,
So for purposes of the map, now that I've flipped through and looked at a bunch of things just to explain, on the northernmost end of the map that you are looking at, which is right at the cliffside, that is an elevator that comes up the face of the cliff from the docks. And then everything else is just part of the grounds of the prison. So there are these other various entrances are entrances that presumably are used by guards or the Lord's Council, things like that. But prisoners are generally only brought in through that main entrance.
Okay.
And then what's the door situation like? What are the locks like? Is it a key card? Is it just...
Doors, magical lock.
Okay, no further information about it?
Magical, I mean, I assume guards have key card,
Okay.
but all locks magical.
Okay. So would you guys be able to provide us with key cards in addition to uniforms?
That is where we get into sketchy area of how long of a vacation you want them to go on. Uniforms easy to replicate. Magical keycards harder. Have to have original magic, have to have code to embed into magic.
Okay.
So, I liked our multiple
Points of entry.
points.
Okay. Maybe a couple of caterers, a couple of guards.
Mm-hmm. Maybe one person who does the standard talking.
Like the
Standard
application and all of that.
Yeah.
I can fill out some paperwork.
I have clarified. If you want to enter as guards, you will basically be coming in pretending that you're new, so you'll be taken to a briefing.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, if you are going to pretend to be guards, we will take you in on day that they are doing orientation.
Oh, perfect. So then we'll get a key cards then.
It seems reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, the other far shot is one of us acting as a prisoner, number 300.
I mean, round numbers always good. You might get confetti when you arrive.
Maybe.
But also then you have to pretend to be prisoner.
Right.
So, not saying no, just saying up to you. You are professionals here. I am spy. What I do is spy. All I do is gather information. I do not infiltrate.
Plus, I feel like that's like way, way up there, and we need to be...
I mean, if bottom cell is for our their longest standing clientele.
Clientele, good word.
You know, depending on what we create for the story of the prisoner, maybe there's a bit more leeway because there's a courtyard, there's the mess hall.
There are places that they exit. They are allowed to exercise in courtyard in shifts throughout the day. They go to mess hall for food. They go to privies for showers, things like that.
From what I understand, though, Prisoner 13 doesn't go outside.
Prisoner 13 very much likes to keep to self.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
She likes to brag when she is outside. When she is outside of cell, she knows that if she had to, she could use her magic. Yeah? So, in cell, leave her alone. Outside of cell, lot more swagger. Which she always had, to be fair, but it's, now she's making a thing about it.
okay.
So options. I think the guard one plus regular talking might be a nice way to get a good lay of the land.
Okay. Just know with the regular talking, we're going to have the warden involved.
Mm-hmm. And then we can have a guard, hopefully, on nearby.
Okay. What is our thought? What's our negotiation tactic here? What are we thinking?
I mean, we don't know anything about the 13, so until we get info from her, I don't think we can actually draw many plans other than get to her and hopefully get her to talk.
Did Vera not tell you much about her? Is there anything I can help with, or?
No,
She seemed, at least to Varen, other operatives that have tried to talk to her, she's been unresponsive.
I mean, she just likes to rub in face, yeah. She does not seem to mind being in prison, which in and of itself kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Solo cell. You
3
don't have
square.
To do anything. Yeah.
exercise.
I mean, it's pretty large, like, that's bigger than my room.
I mean, I guess to be fair, especially since Aurel cast Endless Winter on all of Icewind Dale, you could do worse than Revel's End. You could also do much better, but you could do worse. You could be in Dugan's Hole. That place is a shithole.
Yeah. Sorry, that's James.
That one is just for you, man.
I guess I don't really know how we're gonna get her to talk in the first place if she doesn't want to talk.
Well, I mean, she does not want to talk to us. Maybe she talk to you. You have, you
But
know...
Is she gonna talk to us as guards? Is she gonna talk to us as another prisoner? Is she gonna talk to us as the cook in the kitchen?
I guess we just cover our bases then, like we're saying.
Or if we go in with paperwork, what do we say?
Yeah.
Because that's... What do you offer someone who doesn't need or want anything?
She's gotta want something. Everybody wants something.
That's the question then, isn't it?
And I think that's going to be gathered once we talk with her, because your people so far have been unable to get anything other than her spitting in your face. So,
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah, cover our bases. Try things. Don't get caught.
That's certainly the plan, isn't it?
Don't. Let me just write that down.
Write
Yeah,
big
make
letters.
sure.
Write big letters.
Don't
Don't get caught.
get.
Hey, you gotta have that baseline.
Well, you know, I'd like to not spend the rest of my natural life in here.
Oh, don't worry, we can make it a non-natural end if it really gets that bad. Not going to do that by default, saying that it is always available offer if you request.
Fair enough. Good to know.
So who wants to do the talking, and then who wants to be the guard?
Do you have any forms on you? Great. Just start working.
Full file folder. I have filled out as much as I can. You will have to make up fake name and just put that in all the places. It should be sticky notes where you need to name and sign.
Fake name. Okay, great.
I mean, do we want to do 2 and 2?
Could use real name. I don't care.
Or do we
Tetra.
have one by themselves and everyone else in as guards and cooks?
I mean, I'm not a great talker, to be
You're giving
forward.
cop.
Oh, okay.
They mean you're giving off cop vibes.
Cop fight. Wow. Okay.
I mean,
Minwoo takes 5 minutes to reassess his life choices.
but like good cop. I mean, you and
Question
Tamla
mark?
gave like good cop, bad cop vibes.
Well, I was just trying to be like, I was trying to use dad vibes.
Okay.
They're not too
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah, no. I feel the dad. I definitely feel the dad vibes more than the cop vibes. But I mean, like, you could easily do the cop
Sloan
vibes.
is saying you can
What
be a
I'm trying to
guard.
say.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, I was one profession I was thinking of, but then I just realized, it's easier to catch fish than.
Yeah, definitely less dangerous and less of a asshole, for sure.
Yeah, no, I would hope. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some asshole fishermen for sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
assholes in
Yeah,
every
yeah.
profession.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not the best person to ask. I don't exactly do things above board all the time, so sorry if you didn't know that.
Oh, I assume you are all wanted criminals
I-
somewhere
I
in the
do
world.
have a question though. If
No, I
you're-
haven't been
If your
caught.
whole thing is fish, why are you here?
Here, like,
Here.
Like working
Right
with the
now.
Golden Vault.
oh,
I think you want privacy. I'm going to climb on the roof and check on Moose.
Think
She
about
literally like
that.
just wedges herself out of the window and disappears. She gets that read of like, oh no, walk away.
oh, well, yeah, I mean, it's classic. I came here, and, well, I want to set up a better life for me and my family, and, well, I got conned into what I thought was a really great deal, and turns out it was a really bad deal.
That's how
And-
they get you.
Well, still having to pay that off and making sure none of that it's my wife and child. So that, yeah, it was. I don't know if it's a classic story where you're at a tavern and you see adventurers and they just plop down a hefty set of coin and just buy everything out. Everybody gets drinks and, well, it's certainly beat hauling in fish every morning. On the money side, the danger side is significantly more.
Well, that's why it's a high risk, high reward.
Yeah. So.
I'm sorry, I take back what I said.
The cop vibe?
The cop vibe, yeah.
I
Sorry.
mean, it was an option, you know. It was an option. Just getting the work where I can and making sure they're all right.
And yeah, I do think it's high risk, typically high reward, you know?
Yeah, no, that last job, that was significant.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the greatest at math, but I think covered about 1%.
Good job. 99 to go.
Yeah.
That's,
So-
that's
It's
a
a high
drop in the
payout.
bucket.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Beth, are you okay?
So then, on the talky side of things, since I think we want to diverge perhaps, now that I kind of gesture up at Bethram, kind of lean into the others, do we tell her that we can try to break her out? I mean,
I think that's the only incentive she has to help us.
she can't go back to the clan. Fine. There's billions of other places to go.
So then I guess the question there is, how do we break her out if it comes to that?
And how do we ensure that she gives the information that we need to us? Right? Like, if we're breaking her out, where does the exchange happen? I imagine there's a, like, no, you first.
All good considerations. But I mean, is that something that we're even considering offering?
I mean, we can make the offer.
I mean,
Doesn't mean we have to follow through.
true. The trick there, I think Sloane's got a point, right? Either we get the location, we break her out, she goes to the win, she gave us the wrong information, back at square one. You know?
I mean, we need, like, the object here is the key, right? Like, that's what we need, or at least the location of it. I think that's the priority, and then how we get that can be circumspect, except no killing.
No killing would be.
That's preferable. Yeah. Yeah. I don't really see how killing her would help us because, like Gemma says, if she tells us where it is and it's the wrong information, then we're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, we don't get a payout at all, and
Yeah, unless you can get someone who can talk to the dead or something. That's
sure,
really unuseful.
sure.
All right, everybody, we are approaching prison. How many uniforms you want, and how you want to do this?
I'll go.
One uniform here.
Do you want a partner with the paperwork and forms and all that?
Come on over.
Okay, I'll
What
start
do you want
the
your
one
name
on
to be?
Oh,
All right,
jeez.
I'll be a tiny fuzzy guard with you.
All
Maybe
right.
We'll just be a slightly overdressed gnome.
Okay. I mean, you could say it's really cold.
It is very cold. I am very grumpy about this.
So, I mean, who's gonna go in as a guard? Risha's going in as a guard. Gemma and Sloan, what are you guys going in as? You're gonna go in and do the talking, try to apply to talk.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to apply.
Cool. Bethra pulls you up to, over the crest of a snowbank and goes, all right, everybody, and on your right, the beautiful scenic, Revel's End. Enjoy this look at it because most people only see this view once.
Wow.
And you see this massive, massive mountain rising. Where is it? The windbreak, it is called, this rock, because it does, in fact, block the wind from blowing over this incredibly tall, narrow tower that is Revel's End, which is set up against it, right at the foot of this mountain, or this massive rock, pressed right up to the edge of the cliffside. You have come up from Luskan, so there's sort of been this roundabout way, so you're kind of coming up around, but you can see as you crest along here the large mechanical contraption of the elevator that loads in prisoners who are usually brought in by sea, cranks them to the top, and then brings them into the front entrance of the prison. You folks sort of come up and around, and the sled carriage slows to a stop. Bethra kind of thunks down off of the roof into the snow, opens the side and goes, "All right, we are going to get you some uniforms. I will go to Cash, grab those now. We will head up to front entrance and find somebody, say you are replacements for folks who did not make it in. Great, come on with me. Will be a little bit of hike, snowshoes and back, strap up."
I also want to give Risha a braided bracelet
Yes.
just in case.
Tied around my wrist.
Yep. Little bracelet of hair.
Yep.
Just hair.
Great.
Not
It's a
creepy at all.
friendship bracelet.
It's adorable. Remind me the player what this does.
I can talk to you through it, or I can see through you, but then it'll be destroyed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I will try to stay out of the anti-magic areas.
There's a little bit of shenanigans. You all get strapped into your snowshoes. Bethra manages to get hers on. You start trekking about, 20 minutes of walking, and you see two more small figures kind of appear out of a snowdrift, essentially, and come toward you. Two more dwarves, also wearing the Axebreaker clan insignia. There is some, secret dwarf handshake shenanigans that happen. And then they hand off some stuff. Clearly, Bethra was probably in communication with them somehow while she was riding up top. Hand you some bundles of uniforms that the two of you, Minwoo and Risha, are able to suit up into. And then you are given just directions in the point of just head over to that door and let them know that you are new. Okay. They will figure it out, honestly.
Oh boy.
Where do we submit paperwork?
Go same place. Honestly, best option, you two walk them in and say, hey, you are coming in to report in because you are covering for folks who called out sick or whatever, and that you met these folks on the way who have appointment with the warden.
Oh,
that works.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then it sounds like you know what you are talking about. Yeah?
Very nice suggestion.
I'm assuming we're trying to be as nondescript as possible, and we have to leave some of our stuff behind.
Anything that's super distinctive, you are going to want to probably stash in the briefcase of holding.
Which I definitely have.
Yes, which you absolutely have.
Crossbow in there.
There is certainly, if you show up with a bunch of, non-issue items, there will be questions. You've got a little bit of leeway where, if you're oh, darn, I left my short sword at home, so I borrowed a long sword from my buddy, you might be able to, sell it, but...
Put my trident in there.
Yeah,
Put my longbow in there.
Yeah.
I'll hang on to my quarterstaff because I feel like I can pass that off.
Hold on to the short sword.
Got a dagger for travel, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tries to hide. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The potions across the body, including the assassin's blood.
Oh.
throw my dragon chess set in there, apparently.
Just so.
Oh, fuck, I forgot to sell that dragon chess set.
We can say that you did that in the month of downtime you had.
Throw my bedroll, my mess kit, my
How many ball bearings do you have? They just keep coming.
1,000.
Oh, they spilled in the bag of holding. I'm sorry.
990.
But yeah, tries to keep it, as issue as possible.
Cool. Just double checking if there's anything more specific about that I should be paying attention to. You guys head up and you basically you are being directed to go to the, you're being directed that you can go to that northernmost door where the elevator is and kind of join up with that group, or that you can go to the south door.
Yeah, southern doors.
Either one, just knock and ask for admittance. That's pretty much what they got for you.
All right,
Cool, southern door it
here
is.
we go.
Snowshoes.
You bang on the door opens, a uniformed guard. It's just like, hey, what's... Oh, you got
Hi.
civvies.
We're new guards.
Oh, you're here for the orientation.
Yes, and
Awesome.
we have found...
Hi, we're here to meet with the warden.
We had an appointment.
Oh, okay, yeah, everybody, come on in.
Thank you. As you can see, starting off the job, we are very serious about making sure people come in here.
They've been real great on the walkover.
Exactly.
They were very informative.
Great, cool. Yeah, we'll, get you, I think Eula is, running orientation, so we'll get you guys down there right away. Thank you for showing these folks in, and I will go let the warden know that she's got an appointment. Can I tell her what this is regarding? Is it about a...
I'll defer to my colleague.
We were curious about some of the pasts of a few of your older prisoners here.
Okay.
So wanted to check in with the warden. I do have all of the paperwork.
Oh, that
necessary.
is so much paperwork. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I will let her know. Why don't you come in here, and my colleague is gonna just have you drop off any of your weapons or magical items in a lockbox. Can't be taken inside the prison, things like that. You folks, looks like we might have to get you some standard issue at some points. You can also drop your stuff in a lockbox, and Eula will let you know what you can hang on to and what you can't. So just pick a number and file the key with Steve over there.
All right,
Yeah.
Thank you both so much.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Best of luck with your work here.
Yes. Speak with the prisoners well.
Thank you.
Sloan is like, oh my god, I was totally wrong. So very, very wrong.
Absolutely wrong on every level. Look, the dad vibes are very strong.
Specifically on our paperwork, I want to list that we're interested in interviewing prisoner 6, prisoner 13, and then another number.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Yeah, lower number though.
Fantastic.
as we're kind of like gathering our things, I want to kind of whisper to Gemma, so what's our cover? Are we like writing a memoir? Are we writing like, are we writing a novel maybe about a prison break?
As you guys are conspiring your thing, suddenly a whole passel of guards comes like wandering in, like looks like other new recruits come like meandering in and start putting their stuff in lockboxes, getting ready to go meet. As we just got a raid from the lollygaggers.
Hello,
everybody.
Lollygaggers! Oh my god, look at all the new guards!
Yeah,
Looking so,
so,
spiffy.
Yeah,
They're
there's
all
a
so much younger.
yeah.
Age and experience.
Yes, that is what I can provide. Age and experience. You, young man, I understand
Oh, me?
that you may think you know what you're doing.
I don't actually.
But I have lived out there in the world, and I will make sure I bring that experience to this job.
Okay.
Smile and nod. Just smile and nod.
Did my dad put you up to this?
As far as you're concerned, from now on, I am your dad.
I already have 2 dads. Do I need another one?
Here at Revel's End, I will be your father.
Okay. Having put the fear of gods and dads into this
Dads more than
17-year-old
gods.
recruit,
Oh my god.
who is an actual infant compared to you. Yeah, a bunch of our new guards are ushered through the prison into the central area, into the central tower, up the steps to the 2nd level, and brought into the barracks, where you are immediately greeted by... Oh, man, there's so
Eula?
many pages. With Eula, the head of the guards, who gets like 1 line of description, and I'm trying to see if that's because I'm supposed to find the description somewhere else. Apparently not. Eula absolutely just immediately launches in, like pulls up a like little like mini PowerPoint through some sort of illusory magic, and starts like pulls out a little extendable pointer and just immediately starts going through all of the rules of the prison. Just very straightforward, very no nonsense. Here's the rounds, here's the rules, here's the schedules and everything. So I don't have it directly in front of me because it's across like 3 different pages, but essentially you now have baseline information of what the guards' rounds are going to be like if you sit through this entire orientation. And so you kind of get a sense for how this is going to go. You also get like a reasonable overview of the security measures. To the best you can tell, there are magical security measures through the form of these like arcane locks on all of the doors, and like essentially alarm spell systems that will trigger in certain conditions and can be modified for whether it's like, it will trigger differently depending on if it's like a minor thing, a high alert issue, so that it can be, things can be notified in whatever scale is appropriate. Gemma and Sloan, after this passel of infants and your 2 compatriots are ushered off, you hang out in this room a little longer, and then that original guard who opened the door comes back and is like, I can take you to the warden's office to meet with her if that works for you.
Yes, please.
And he will take you to where is it? So I can tell you the right spot on your map.
The hospital.
I think it says tower,
Tower
level
level 2?
2.
It's marked on the map.
No, I believe you. I have to scroll through all of my thing to find it. Is it
So what are we writing again?
2 or is it?
I think maybe do we want to go fiction? Do we want to go like history of the prison? Do we want to go?
You are ushered to, on the 1st level, the westernmost point, where you are shown into just a nice, comfortable meeting room.
Oh, this is lovely.
You hang out there for a few minutes.
Take out a notebook and be prepared to write notes.
Yeah.
Right, you told.
Yeah.
Go for it. Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
And then there's like a light rap on the door as it opens, and a human woman steps in. She's in full uniform, similar to the guards, but a little bit more relaxed. Like the guards are a little more armored up. Hers is a little more just like business suity, if you will. And she pops in, ways she's got her hair just pulled back in a ponytail, got a little bit of an extra jacket on, because it is cold. Walks in, goes, hello, welcome. I'm Warden Marthanis. Pleasure to meet you. I understand that you were hoping to meet with me and possibly some of our residents here.
Yeah, we were hoping, we're working on a book right now, and so we were very eager to learn a little more about the prison itself and some of the history, but then also some of your longer term prisoners as we're working on this research.
Oh, fascinating. That's a bit of an unusual request, but I'm sure we can attempt to accommodate. Who specifically are you hoping to speak to?
We were looking. Let me double check and make sure that I have it all correct. We were looking at.
Oh goodness! You filled out so much of the paperwork. I don't think I've ever seen anyone fill out that much
We're
paperwork.
trying
in
to be as
advance.
thorough as possible
Yeah,
here.
I can tell. Oh.
I think we wanted to speak with prisoners 6, 13, and 23.
6, 13, and 23. All right. Okay. I will.
Get a little
have to-
variety, you know.
No. Certainly, you're looking for
level.
some of our oldest residents, as I can see. I don't know that prisoner 6 is going to want to talk to anyone, but I can
Just
certainly.
generally.
Yes, it's there's been here for a long time. They're also pretty evil, and the whole like thing with the voices in the head and the like murder situation. They're not super social.
Is
but
there prisoner another that you would suggest to take their place, maybe?
it sort of really depends on what you're looking for. A lot of our prisoners are not super social or talkative. We do have a few that we can't shut up. So if you'd like to talk to one of them,
Absolutely.
Definitely.
great. I've definitely got a bard somewhere in the upper who will happily talk to you forever, and I would love if he would talk to anyone other than us for a while. So I'm sure I can convince him to come down and chat. Great, wonderful. Okay, and then you said 13 and 20,
And 23.
23. Right. Okay. Well, let me see what I can do. Prisoner 13 has nothing else going on, so I'm sure I can arrange for that. I don't know how much you'll get out of her. She tends to be pretty terse, but of course, and 23, I believe should also be available. It's just again a matter of like how much they're willing to say, that sort of thing. So. Right. Well, I will. I guess I will bring them. down.
And just for safety, we'll have someone in the room with us as well.
Oh, I will be present.
You'll be
for
present.
yes, of course, yes. Yeah. Standard policy. I have to be present for all interviews. Right. Well, I will go see who's available. I suppose. Please make yourselves comfortable.
Thank you.
Someone's gonna get up and start like walking around the room and taking notes.
I'm so sorry. It was Warden
Marthanis.
Marthanis.
Could you spell that for me, please?
Marthanis.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Of course. Wonderful. She takes off.
Make a really good team. So great. I love this.
Terrifying.
We found where the charisma was hiding.
The quiet one in the corner.
Look at these kids. None of them are taking any notes. There's a lot of great information on these slides. Writing as much as he can down.
Yeah, people like me hang out with people like you who take good notes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bad at taking notes, so I copy off other people's notes. I'm listening, but you know.
Yeah, and that one's listening over there to his dreams. Goodness gracious. But like, look at this. Like, I'm starting to write down questions. Like, excuse me, Eula.
Yes, in the back.
So what like, there are obviously magical people in this place, but it seems based on slide number 6 that the anti-magic field only accommodates the cell rooms. What do you do for when they're out of it?
You don't fuck up your job is what you do.
Well, I mean, like, what if, I don't know, they throw lightning and all I have is a standard issue spear?
Why'd you take a standard issue spear to guard a prisoner with lightning magic?
Well, I'm just trying to see what the scale of what's the expectations here, because like we're given a lot of the overview, but it doesn't seem like we're given a lot of the nitty gritty and the potential of...
Son, why'd you decide to become a prison guard?
Close.
Yeah.
I decided to become a prison guard so that way I can provide for my family.
Wrong. You decided to become a prison guard because there's no other fucking jobs available in this godforsaken wasteland of snow, ice, and nothingness.
And this was a higher paying job
You're
compared
correct.
to red herring
So
fishing.
what was your question again?
How do we handle
All right, slide 17. You get no answers beyond what is in this slideshow. You do note that this seems like a very peculiar thing. You do pick up on a few things. For example, you do learn that if a high alert is triggered, every guard in the vicinity gain the benefit of the ability to see invisibility.
Oh.
That's important.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Whew.
Just let that one rest.
Sit and marinate for a minute there.
Yeah. All of the cells, of course, have this strong anti-magic field. The common areas do not have that because there are magical effects that are used within those by the guards themselves, such as continual flame for the lighting, the alarm spells, the arcane locks, etc. So they cannot be suppressed. You get the impression, you start to pick up that essentially prisoners who have strong magic and have not been proven to essentially behave themselves are probably equipped with some sort of magical suppression device when they are outside.
Do I get the impression, just listening to all of this, that so there's arcane locks on everything, including the cells? So is the arcane lock like just outside of the anti-magic field?
That seems to be the case.
Okay.
That essentially the anti-magic field is on the interior of the cell. The arcane lock is the outside.
Got it. Okay. Very precise.
I was trying to figure out why there hasn't been a break out before with high arcane people, but it seems like they have their bases covered.
You don't need high arcane power, you just need a couple good tricks.
Continues to write about slide 18.
Slide 19. Breaks. Please contain yourselves to the break room. Put garbage in the trash can. I am not your mother. I will not be cleaning up after you, but I will be making sure someone does, and if I have to, it's gonna be a problem.
Now, are these 30-minute breaks, 15-minute breaks, 10-minute breaks?
2 15s and a 30 in a shift.
Okay. It's better than my last job.
Were you fishing for knucklehead trout, I assume, since that's the only other occupation we have up here?
Fishing, pretty darn close.
Down in the meeting room, there is a rap on the door. The door opens, and you see the warden comes in, accompanied by 2 beefy-looking guards, like jacked-looking dudes, and a dwarf in a prison uniform, just your basic kind of white, sort of real simple clothes. She's got bright red hair, shaved on the one side, and her entire body, what you can see of it peeking out from under her uniform, is covered in runic dwarven tattoos.
Do I?
And we all just fell a little in love.
Very excited excited about her dwarven tattoos, a little distracted by that, but also want to know, do I recognize any, like, script of the tattoos? You said they're dwarven, right?
They are dwarven. Do you
Okay.
speak dwarven?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
You can't see a whole lot. Like she was clearly told that she's got to go to you are being summoned to do a meeting thing, and so she's a little more buttoned up, if you will, not literally but metaphorically. You know, the sleeves are rolled down, the pants are rolled. You know, everything's a little bit more straightened up and in order. But you can see a little bit of script kind of creeping up onto her neck, probably from her shoulders. Double checking to see all the things. And you can see a lot of knotwork that clearly comes down from her arms onto the backs of her hands and onto her knuckles into like runic patterns. Go ahead and give me, we'll say a perception check to see how much you're able to kind of pick up just from this quick glance, because she's pretty covered up.
Okay.
Like, certainly you could read things if you got closer, or, you know, if she took her shirt off or something, but
18.
she's very covered up. The little bit that you can pick up on her neck, like coming up off her shoulder, looks like it is part of a poem that reads, "Endless dreams entombed in stone."
That's the title of your book.
I was about to say right there.
Seeing where all of...
Okay.
Did not give me specifics. Little peek into the After Dark, because I'm going to yell about this a lot very shortly. Did not give me enough specifics on how they do magical suppression in this prison. Does give me an exceedingly detailed list of exactly which tattoos this dwarf has where. So if anybody wants to take that as a challenge, just letting you know.
Cool.
Anyway, this dwarf is shuffled in and kind of like sat down in the chair, and you see the guards kind of like look at each other, look at the warden, and they're like, "We'll be right outside." And they literally go and stand, like, shoulders still visible in the doorway, a little bit, like, right outside.
They're so good here.
Very good. Excellent security. Very nice.
Cool. And the warden kind of takes a chair and kind of pulls it to a corner of the meeting room, so she's not like at the table with you guys, but is there and is present and attentive. And this dwarf just kind of sits down and just...
Hi.
I'd like to start sketching her.
Thank you for meeting with us. We had a few questions for a piece that we're working on. Wanted to talk with you about your experiences both here and in getting here, if you're amenable to any of that. Can we start with your name?
They call me Prisoner 13.
That is what we were told. Just checking. Great. Wonderful. Could you tell us a little bit about how you got here and how long you've been here, your time here with the guards, with other prisoners?
I got here on boat with 12 other prisoners, also came on boat.
Is that normal? Normally like 13 prisoners on a boat?
I do not know. Mine had 13. We come on boat, they put us in elevator bring us to prison, put us in prison. Now we here.
In prison.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
very good.
What did you have a trial? Anything before you were sent here in a boat with 12 other prisoners?
Had many trials and tribulations. When I was young girl, things difficult. When I was older girl, things still difficult. Then arrested and taken to prison. Things now still difficult.
Rightfully arrested, do you think, or
Define rightfully.
do you feel you're here justly?
I have not denied doing thing they said I did.
Have you admitted to it?
Is not same thing?
Okay.
Also, not not precisely the question either. Do you feel that what you did justified your incarceration?
If you are weak enough to get caught, you deserve consequence.
So you feel you're weak. Interesting.
Did not say that.
Which part of you being here do you think is the consequence? Is it the being here? Is it the being here?
Honestly, don't care.
Okay.
Am I getting a sense of like,
Yeah.
Is she-
get a beat? A
is she
read.
just like
free to
bored?
do
Is she
insight
having
checks.
fun? What's the vibe here?
Oh gosh.
Well, that's a fun dice.
Dirty 20.
7.
Sloan, you're just real distracted by these tattoos. They're very cool.
They're
The
so
workmanship
cool.
is exquisite. You're trying really hard to figure out what these runes on her knuckles
I'm drawing them.
are, and like trying to see if you can read any more of the poem, wondering a little bit what else might be, because clearly this is all over, and you're just like, how far? What's all there?
so curious.
So disappointed. Dirty 20, you said? Great. You absolutely make eye contact with her at one point, and there is just that mutual acknowledgement as each of you recognizes that the other one is trying to get a read, and you absolutely know that this is now a game of who's gonna crack first.
The wink at her.
You get a little eyebrow from that.
Great. Wonderful.
She didn't roll quite as good as you on her insight check, but she rolled very high.
Great. Could you tell us a little bit about your day-to-day?
Oh, yeah, sure. I wake up, I eat terrible breakfast of hardtack and trout. I stretch. Sometimes, if I'm feeling spicy, I read a book. Currently
What do
going
you like to read?
currently going through History of Blackstaff Tower, because is only book in library currently. Then I take a nice 10-mile walk in circles around myself. You know, pass the time. Then have lunch, hardtack and knucklehead trout. On alternating days after that, go to courtyard, do more laps, but with other people. Days not in courtyard, go to showers. Take nice cold shower, because no hot water, because if you have not noticed, we are in endless winter. Then go back to cell, continue reading book, again, if feeling spicy, or just stare at wall and contemplate life. Have dinner, is hardtack and
Knuckle
trout.
trout,
Yeah, no,
okay.
we have no options here. Then go to bed. Next day, all over again.
It's important to keep a routine.
Schedules do keep you regular. I will say that.
It's true.
Oh, the most regular. Have not been so comfortable in knowing what will happen with my day-to-day ever before coming here.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about maybe your iconography? Some of your tattoos?
I will. Right now, I have some dwarven sigildry. Sigildry.
Sure.
Sigildry.
Chivalry.
And it's
Stuart is here.
sure, Shamrock.
Miss him.
With like figures, different figures hidden in them of different things that Sloan has turned into,
Okay.
kind of on their arm. I also loving the ink very much.
Give me. Give me a raw charisma check.
Oh god.
But you can do it at advantage because you've got Gemma here.
Okay.
I know that's not your best, but I can't
And we
think
also
of
have
We
beats.
have beats.
You do have bits.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
the meeting, like bits.
So that would be a 16 with no bits. Should we
Take
use
a bit.
Sure.
We got
Okay,
half an hour.
we're gonna use a bit.
Make it spicy.
Okay, that's fine. It's a 17.
Yeah, so that was a 17. Okay. I'm double checking. Okay. You kind of do the shift, and you see she kind of like looks and she clocks you, and just kind of like casually like right hand tucks it up into her sleeve, hiding the runes on her fingers, but kind of like casually pushes up the sleeve of her left arm,
Looking.
and you see just this like roiling, like full arm sleeve of smoke and shadow and cloud that all intertwines. Much in the way that your tattoos are different on each arm, you can see just enough of the back of her right hand and right arm to see that like this hand, the right hand that she is now hiding a little bit, is all the very distinctive runes and knotwork and the dwarven sigils. And this arm is something a lot more impressionistic and amorphous and whatever. But she kind of, she just kind of just like, is very common in dwarven culture to take tattoos to represent great victories. I see you have taken dwarven runes. You must have impressed our brethren.
You could say that. Yeah.
It's great honor to receive dwarven runes.
Yeah, it is. Very much so. I'm very proud of that connection.
I do not see that much from elven kind. Well done.
I feel like, in more than one sense, I feel more connected to the dwarven culture in my life than I do any other ancestry.
She kind of gives you a little bit of the nod.
Well, I mean, back to you.
Oh, I was enjoying this.
Gemma, while you have been kind of watching this, but because you're generally aware, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Not as good. That's an 8.
It's an 8. You catch out of the corner of your eye. You're mostly focused on this, but out of the corner of your eye, you do catch that the warden is kind of like shifting just a little bit. Could just be that she's uncomfortable. These chairs are not the best.
Okay.
All right, what else can I answer for you so that I can go back to my solitude and my trout?
And your book.
Yes, and to my book.
So they only have one book in the library.
One book that is available for checkout. I assume other prisoners have other ones. It rotates occasionally. Someday maybe we get traveling librarian to come through and change out books or something. Not as many books as there are prisoners, but not all of us are literate.
Okay, so that might be something that we talk to the publisher about. Maybe getting like a...
Can we get a copy of your book when you finish?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Would love to
definitely.
know what you have to say about me.
I would love to know. Forgive me because I am not as well versed in the symbolism of the runes or anything, but this feels much more impressionistic.
Oh, yes, this was from time that I called Storm down to destroy enemies.
Oh,
Have you ever seen Power of a Storm destroy enemies?
I have not.
It's beautiful.
Oh, I'm sure.
Watch them just before you. At this point, you do see the warden be like, okay, What exactly was this interview intended to be regarding?
We're just
Exactly?
getting a little more information on the daily lives.
Okay, well, I think maybe we should wrap it up. We've got some other prisoners that you might want to interview,
Absolutely.
of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Very eager to speak with this bard.
You definitely get the eyebrow for prisoner presentation, gives the warden a look and just kind of smirks. Like, yeah, okay.
Is there anything that you want us to include in your short profile in the book? Anything that you feel like distinguishes you other than being able to call down storms? Because that's pretty distinguishing. I mean,
No one wants to read about me. Honestly, I will probably not make it into your book because someone somewhere is going to make sure that I do not make it into your book.
that sounds ominous.
Who would?
She winks at you and sits back and just says nothing.
All right.
Well,
Thank you for your time.
yes, thank you, Prisoner 13.
Had nothing else to do, so anything to break up the routine. If you'll excuse me, I have very important trout to get back to.
Of course. Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, what were your names?
Tetra.
Vic.
Very good. At which point the warden just kind of on the wall. Door opens, beefy dudes come back in, like flank her. Yeah, she gets up, she gives you guys each a little last look, and then is ushered out. About 30 seconds later, you hear somebody singing a sea shanty. Another set of footsteps as you're
Is
about
it
to...
one that we recognize?
The sea shanty?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
A new creation.
Yeah, it's either new or it's just something from too far north that you've never heard it before. Risha and Minwoo, as you've been waiting so patiently.
This is highly entertaining.
You have wrapped up your orientation, finally. You might have more questions than answers at this point, but you're incredibly clear that the policy is put your name on it and 3 days, and then the fridge gets cleared out. There is too many guards and not enough room.
You know, for the orientation, this like trout biscuit thing isn't half bad. You know?
I strongly question your definition of not bad. It is edible.
I mean, I've been on a... Whoa, we're drifting somewhere.
Where are you guys off to over there?
When you put moves in my food.
It is
Yeah, no,
edible,
the-
which elevates it above quite a few things that I have eaten, but...
I mean, if you've been on a ship for more than 2 weeks, this is...
No, I lived on the streets all most of my life.
Sorry to hear that.
Somewhere Devon is like, someone has fresh fish.
Anyway, yeah. Well, we got a basic layout, which was
Very basic.
helpful and all, but
What do you think? We start doing a round or two? Just get a feel for the
yeah,
place?
get a feel for it. Yeah, let's hop in the rotation.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Do we know what weaponry is standard issue?
Well, there's an entire armory, so you'd think they would tell me.
You would think.
But that might have been a mistake. You...
Magical guns.
Yes!
Everybody is
Speaking
issued
of which,
a rifle.
Fuck!
No. Based on what I am seeing for the stat blocks that are suggested for guards in use in here, it's mostly like short sword, long sword, dagger situation.
Okay.
And it seems to vary based on like seniority and location.
Well, I prefer my staff, but I can use a short sword.
Yeah.
So we should probably swing through the armory and see if they can't issue me something.
And if it's based on seniority, at least I got something on these kids.
I will use you as a cudgel in that direction.
Long sword, short sword, and crossbow
Thank
are
you.
the primary
Okay.
items that you see. I will say that if you ask around, they will probably give you some weird side eye about wanting to keep your quarterstaff, but will give you the okay for it. They're like,
Okay.
can you? Okay, but can you use it to like if one of these guys goes crazy and starts like sneezing fireballs, can you like knock him out with a stick?
Want me to prove it?
Not on me. You probably say that, and like the one beefy dude who's been there 100 years just goes, and then the kid who's in questioning you goes, okay. Groot says you're fine, so I think you're fine.
Thank you, Groot. So yes, I do hang on to my quarterstaff because
Yeah.
it's what they're most comfortable with. But yeah, let's take a walk. I wanna actually like see all of the places.
Yeah, start following the guard patrol route, which I noticed doesn't actually go into the interior portion. It just goes
It does
around in a
not.
circle.
It just spins around the exterior circle.
As you pass the meeting room, you hear just singing.
Yeah.
Or like
yeah.
attempting to sing.
singing.
Hey, hey, blow the man down. Hey, no, you gotta hit the rhythm. And
Bards.
I understand why that one's in here.
I mean, their music isn't that much of an affront to the gods.
That one, he was clapping on the ones and the threes. I know that much.
He's just from very far north.
I believe they call it something like syncopated or something up there.
I see you took the standardized assimilation test of Faerun.
But yeah, pass around. From the exterior, is it a wall that we see for Prisoner 13's cell, or is it open on both ends?
Let me confirm real quick. Oh god.
All right, big 3 takeaways you got from that meeting. Go.
If you borrow a mug, you have to wash it and put it back. Because if you don't, she'll find you and she'll make you eat the shards.
Yes, and there are a lot of guards here and probably not enough cups.
Why they can't get a few more tankards? Anyway.
Maybe you just got to bring your own home tankard. Number 2.
But if you bring your own home tankard, someone else will steal it.
So on the exterior, it is just wall.
It's just one.
It is just wall. What this essentially seems to be is that the central area. So all the cells open inward toward the tower, right? Mm-hmm. That is what makes it a panopticon. Is that you can always see and be seen. You have no privacy because someone is in the tower watching you. The exterior allows guards and visitors and personnel to pass around without passing through the eyes of the panopticon. So your patrol is essentially, you're walking through this corridor, making sure that no one is there who should not be there. Staff is fine, guards are fine, prisoners are fine if accompanied, but shouldn't be there regularly. And then there's these little dips you kind of start to learn of, like, you do like the 2-minute walk around one half, you step in, you do a scan to make sure nothing looks sketchy inside, you step out, you do the 2-minute walk of the other half, step in, step out. Whole thing takes about 4 to 5 minutes total to do a full rotation if you're just doing your basic round.
Mm-hmm.
When we're walking along, because from the map, Risha would have the orientation of the wall near the courtyard would be
Yes.
the wall that would be the backside of Prisoner 13's. Start like casually running my hand over the wall looking for anything that might indicate that she's been trying to dig her way out in the middle of the night or anything fun like that, just out of sheer curiosity.
Give me a investigation check, unless you want to make an argument for something else.
I can't really make a good argument for perception. Yeah, it's gonna have to be my -1.
You don't happen to have like stone cunning or anything.
I
do
was
you?
literally just thinking that.
Yeah, or any background with. I don't think Risha does.
No, my background, spoiler alert, is that they're a criminal / spy, so watching for that sort of thing, but not.
Do investigation, but add your proficiency because you do have that sort of spy background that would teach you certain things to look for. Of like, is there a secret hidey hole? Is there a chink for talking to people?
Okay, so that.
Which to speak.
Plus my proficiency minus my investigation puts me at a 18.
18. Does not seem to have been tampered with from what you can tell. Like, again, it's limited. You're on the outside, and if they're trying to do something from the inside, maybe they just haven't gotten far enough. But it's not like these walls are. This is not like crazy thick amounts of stone. This is a it's a standardized, like, this is a stone prison. It is built to last. But nothing about this is like intensely overbuilt in a way that would
Not
make
super
that
fortified.
impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fortification is mostly on the outside. You get the impression that they're pretty reliant on the magical buffs of the interior to not need that physical buff. Also, if you have a bunch of like dwarves with stone cutting in your prison, walls ain't gonna help you anyway at a certain point.
At a certain
So
point.
there's other things that you would use. But yeah, you're not really noticing anything that gives the impression that this wall is weakened or adjusted in any way.
Okay. I will have like tapped on it a couple of times, possibly even like reaching up with the staff to tap a little bit before continuing along.
Sure.
Not lingering long enough to look suspicious, but definitely just curious.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, what we're getting, it's a prison, duh. The only thing that I feel like can shift how this thing moves is what Prisoner 13 is, like, who they are. I'm sure the other two got some info, hopefully. But on our end, maybe we can observe.
High or low, James?
Low.
Low. As you guys are making the rounds and talking, you do one of your duck ins to that central, when you're supposed to dip in and like scan that. And you see at that moment two incredibly jacked looking guards closing and locking the door on Prisoner 13's cell. You can see just past them inside this dwarf woman, bright red hair, buck ton of tattoos, being shut inside. And kind of just very much like standing there in that like, yep, this is the routine. Like, thank you, Bert and Ernie, good job. Whatever. Just letting them
That's their
as
name
they as they sort of lock it and they start to walk away, and she just gives them the little wave. Thank you. So good to see you, as always. Look forward to it next time.
Hello, Bert and Ernie. We're new here. I'm Dan.
Oh, hey, Dan. Okay, you're new. Are you're covering for Sven?
Yes, covering for Sven. And hopefully it's not just a temporary period. It's something more extended, maybe
Wonderful,
seasonal,
wonderful.
hopefully at least.
Yeah. Bert suddenly slaps her and is like, dude, new ship coming in right now. We gotta go the elevator right now because we just got a massive raid from Dice Cream Sandwich.
Hello!
Thank you so much, everybody.
That's an amazing name!
Welcome.
Are they all carrying ice cream sandwiches?
Oh my god, I hope so.
I don't. It's a prison ship that's coming in. Ice cream sandwich is questionable, but there are a
They could have
huge
some ice.
number of them. Anyway,
Lovely to see you all.
hello,
Thanks for being
welcome.
here.
We are exploring the Revel's End prison and hopefully getting information about Prisoner 13. As Bert and Ernie, our beefy guards, suddenly go running off to deal with this sudden. They've clearly gotten some sort of like ping or alert somehow, and they just and he's like, Dan, cool meeting you. Talk to you later. We'll catch up.
Yeah.
On maybe our breaks sync up.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, meet you at the fridge.
The 30 or the 15?
50.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
They go
Yeah.
hustling out of there.
I'll immediately like glance up at the surveillance area. I imagine there's still someone up there.
Oh, there's always someone in the tower.
Okay.
Can you see into the tower? Like into this?
Like,
Is it a
or are there
one-way?
holes or
One-way mirror.
just reflected back at you?
Usually in a panopticon, you can't see. Into the tower, but
it's-
see.
Mostly, there's some of the information I was trying to find. It is essentially arrow slits. You can see a little bit of light flickering from inside. You know, some sort of probably more of the continual flame that is constantly going, lighting all these areas. And so it's very much set up to be that thing of you know that there is always a possibility and even a probability that you are being watched, but you can never be sure. So you have to be on your best behavior at all times.
Sure.
So for where you are, you know there's somebody in there because you just got briefed on how that works. You know that you guys, if you keep with the charade, will be taking shifts in there at some point to observe things. But you don't know who is in there or how many or where they're looking at any given moment.
Okay. Glance up at that and then look over at prisoner 13 cell. Just trying to get a read on how she's responding after, I assume, just having come and talked with our friends.
I mean, she watched as she was shut back in. She kind of observed this little interchange that you guys had with the guards. And then she just sort of like, she just kind of like observes all of that and then just goes back and sits down on one of the bunks. Because it is a cell that has 2 bunks, although she's the only prisoner there. Sits down on the edge of them and just kind of rolls up her sleeves. And like leans back against the wall and sort of like tilts her head back.
Hey, you! What are you staring at? Walks over.
Yeah.
I'll stay close but behind him because I'm not sure what he's doing here.
Yeah, you walk over, you look, initially no immediate response.
And I look straight in their eyes.
Well, they're tilted back kind of in profile to you, but
Yep. In Dwarvish. Hey, look over here.
there's a pause and then head tilts forward and she kind of looks over. Da?
Yes. What were you staring at? Those are my friends.
Oh god. Oh my god.
You do not strike me as man who has many friends.
Woof.
Just because I started working here. We're working on it. And I need you to know I'm Dan, and if you mess with me or my friend here, we're gonna have trouble.
Oh no, I am so scared. Yes, Dan, I will make sure I do not cause any trouble for you or your friend or your other friends.
Good. Remember that.
Oh, don't worry. I have very long memory.
I don't mind him. He gets a bit intense.
Oh, no mind given. But I will not forget.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Don't you worry. Though I am human, I also have a memory. Completely forgetting the Dwarven word for long.
She looks you dead in the eye, kind of smiles a little bit and goes, "You are too old to be trying to prove yourself. So, whenever I figure out what it is you are up to, we will speak again. Nice to meet you, Dan."
Don't you worry. 13.
sounding a dwarf.
Had to go through the whole thing to get to the right number.
Now, get back to relaxing. And we'll go back on the on the walk around. Okay, so I think
You definitely got her attention.
exactly. I need her to know that she's being watched, and hopefully, if what Varen is saying is that she's a bit of a braggart, maybe she'll show off, and we can learn stuff.
Well, hopefully she deigns to come out to the courtyard then.
Yeah. We'll take this time to try and find a way to reconvene with these two and see if we can share information.
You are absolutely able to do that as you kind of continue making the rounds and see these guards walking this very like jauntily skipping prisoner. Like it's very much like this prisoner is like skipping their way along. One guard has like a hand on his shoulder. The other is following a little bit further behind, just doing a lot of this.
That was great. So
Yeah, so great. I feel
energized.
Yeah, totally. Energized is a great way to put it.
It is, for as much trouble as he seemingly caused, he's very inspiring, isn't he?
Yeah. What is he in for, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, absolutely violent murder.
Oh, okay.
I never would have guessed.
Yeah.
Right? No, you really
such
never
a,
can
like,
tell.
Joyous disposition. It's very strange.
Absolutely, yes. No.
Okay, so we saw 13, and that was 23, right?
No,
No?
23 is the next one. The bard was replacing.
Yeah, the bard was
Six.
replacing.
I'm so sorry. What was his?
I'm sorry, that was 72.
72.
Does he actually like have a name?
I'd have to go look it up. I'm sorry. I know this is terrible of me, but there are so many people
When you
here.
have 299-ish.
It's like 237 at the moment. We've had some releases and
So in
some
flux.
deaths. It happens.
So like when someone, okay, let's say God forbid, I mean maybe not God forbid, but let's say number 6 dies. Would
We could only hope. Yes.
Do you get a new number 6?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
are they eternally number 6?
I don't think we start over until we hit 999.
Oh.
Because it's also really tricky, right? Because obviously, elves, dwarves, incredibly long lifespans. Eric Crooked, not at all.
I'm so sorry. This is going to sound probably terrible, but have prisoners died here?
Oh, yes, all the time.
Do you have ghosts?
Yes. Absolutely.
Could we meet a ghost?
I mean, I
Oh
can't guarantee
my
that you're going to be able to meet them, but I can tell you which rooms are supposedly haunted. I can see if any of the empty cells are the haunted cells, and you could possibly go. All we ask, please, no talking boards. We don't want to actually invite them to stay.
Of course.
But if you just want to go sit and feel the vibes, it's going to feel cold, but it's going to feel cold anyway. So I don't know if you're going to really pick up on the spirit nature. Although if you do want to meet a ghost and you're willing to go further north, there is a haunted inn in 10 towns where this
Oh.
woman comes and prophesies about things on the lake. I
Okay.
can certainly tell you about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Jane's over here having war flashbacks.
I mean,
Use what you know. Biggest DM tip.
Hello?
Warden. I don't know why I did. Warden.
Hello. Oh,
Hello. We
Yes.
are new.
certainly, of course. Welcome. I hope. Did you have a good orientation?
Yes. Speaking of, Eula would like to speak to you about the review of the orientation and apparently prospective candidates.
we would love to interview some new newcomers,
Absolutely.
new recruits.
First impressions and all of that. Right?
Okay. Well,
I took a full page of notes during the orientation.
Ooh.
I'd be happy.
Okay.
It sounds like I should probably go speak to you. If you don't mind just waiting here with our guests, and I'll be right back. You were briefed on how to handle guests.
Oh, yes, of course. We've got
I think it's slide 29, maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
32.
Oh,
No,
thank
32.
you. Thank
Yes,
you. 32.
I haven't sat in on orientation in a minute. I will go speak to Eula, and I'll return in a bit. Thank you. scurries off.
It's good.
Okay, hi.
How'd it go?
It's been great here. I mean, well, we just very great performance.
Aside from, aside from the fact that it
The murder.
horrible murder,
Yeah.
quite a good singer.
Yeah, that tracks. But about the person that we're here about, who we just saw go back to her cell.
Not much. Pretty tight-lipped.
Yeah.
Very hard to read, I guess. I mean, did you get a read on it?
Definitely was analyzing us and what we were doing. I don't know if anything, if she caught on to anything or what, but tight-lipped and yeah,
Gorgeous tattoos.
beautiful.
Yeah, I happened to see they were dwarvish-ish.
Dwarvish-ish.
Sort of runes and whatnot on the right hand, and all the way up dwarven, gorgeous dwarven stuff, and then on the left, like kind of like smoke and shadows and clouds.
From a storm that was created to obliterate some enemies.
Like you do.
Casually,
Um,
everywhere, probably here.
Does this is part of a poem that's on her? Does it sound familiar to any of you? Endless dreams entombed in stone.
Does this poem sound familiar?
Everybody who wants can roll a history check.
I mean, it doesn't ring a bell in my brain, but it does sound like a really
Can
good
I also hop in on it?
10.
title for a book.
Oh.
And I still doesn't ring a thing. I rolled not 20.
Yes.
But minus 119.
No. Okay, so nat 20.
It's always when it's something
19,
stupid.
10,
Oh, 5.
11.
11.
So stupid. It doesn't ring a bell in my head.
It sounds really beautiful to the three of you. Like, it sounds like a lovely line of poetry, and Sloan can recite it, Dwarven and the common translation. Both are lovely in their own ways. Minwoo, I don't think you know this poem. What I do think you know is that you, as you guys are talking about this and you're saying that and you're kind of hearing Sloan repeat it, what you remember is a dwarven woman that you worked with on one of the ships when you were doing fishing, who also had a bunch of tattoos, kind of similar to what's being described here, even similar to what Sloan has, who did talk to you a little bit about kind of dwarven tattoo culture for her clan at one point. You were sitting on the boat, it was late at night, you didn't have anything else to do, and she's drinking from a flask and waxing poetic about home. And she talked to you about the way that some dwarves use that tattoo culture. Like, very common in dwarven culture is to use these tattoos to commemorate, like, great battles or great events. It doesn't necessarily always have to be a fight, but just commemoration. Big events, big life moments, big things that they want to remember and be remembered by and for. Sort of in that way of, like, marking yourself for the gods before you enter into the halls of Cord or something to that effect. And she talked about how some dwarves take this maybe a little too far. And not only do they commemorate this, but they want to use it to relive it, and they will imbue those tattoos with power that they can call upon. Because you're all that high, and I gotta give you something.
Okay, interesting. Huh.
What?
Sorry, I just had a bit of a flashback. You know how I was practicing, or not, I was kind of practicing my dwarvish with her.
Yes.
I got I got up to 13. It was a little bit rusty. But the one who taught me how to start counting that, she was a dwarven woman on a ship I was on. You mentioned a storm on the
On the left
that
side.
time? Yes, apparently some dwarves like to commemorate that memory with imbuing it with a little bit of life, if you will, in the tattoo.
Kind of like yours.
That sounds like mine. So we think maybe they're magical or something?
I don't know, but just the way that we're getting from her bravado and some of the stories might be more locked and loaded than
We think.
we think. And then the question becomes why she's still complacent about being here.
What was that line?
Endless dreams entombed in stone. And I'll also recite it in Dwarvish.
And I don't know anything about dwarvish tattoos, but it's just something to commemorate something really important
Possibly.
and imbued with magic.
Yeah.
Do we think that might be the key?
Oh, that's brilliant.
And as you all sit, coming to the realization that there's a lot more going on here than maybe you first realized, that is where we will end for this evening. Thank you all so much for joining us on this part 1 of Prisoner 13, the level 4 module from Keys from the Golden Vault. We have a bunch of other programming coming up throughout the rest of this week. Tomorrow, the next episode of the Redacted Reports, our Delta Green actual play podcast drops. We are very rapidly approaching the end of season 5, and it's getting intense. So check that out wherever fine podcasts are available. Sometime this weekend, we may be doing a replay of this episode on Twitch, if you happen to want to catch it. Next Monday, very importantly, we'll be getting episode 3 of our Spelljammer campaign, run by our very own James Aaron O. And Tiana, of course, doing amazing work in the post-production and in the back room. You can also catch previous episodes of that on YouTube now. And then, of course, we will be back next Tuesday right here with the second half of this module of Keys from the Golden Vault, Prisoner 13. Sometime next month, we will be running another Arena of the 5Es. We're determining that now. If you are a member of our Patreon, you get to participate in the Arena of the 5Es because we will be asking you to submit character builds. So, if that's something that interests you, please go check out previous arenas on our YouTube and consider joining our Patreon so that you too can submit a character and see possibly one of these knuckleheads play it live on stream in a battle royale. Thank you so much for being here. Tell people about us. Again, I'm going to keep our ask for this week. Go to the YouTube, find one of your favorite videos, leave us a comment about what you loved about that particular episode or that particular module. Thank you so much for joining us. Stick around for a little bit. We're going to hit a raid. We're going to record a quick After Dark, another patron perk, and we will see you all next time. Good night.